Good morning and welcome to Pecos On The Move. It is a Monday morning. It is August 3rd, 2026. We want to welcome you to our program, and we want to welcome Mr. Jimmy Dutchover to our microphone. Jimmy is the Executive Director of the Pecos Economic Development Corporation. Jimmy, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Bill. Thank you for having us. It's a beautiful start to August, isn't it?
It certainly is. Yeah, we're in a brand new month today.
Yes,
so, yeah, started Saturday, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, we are here. And Jimmy, as always, we've got information to share with our community here this morning in regards to economic development. And we're going to be kind of focusing this morning on people leaving Pecos. And of course, you know, this has been kind of an age-old situation. And young people, you know, they get their education, they get their high school diploma, they go away to college, and in many cases they don't come back. So I know you wanted to kind of address that a little bit this morning, and so I guess the first question is, why do some young people leave Pecos after graduating?
Well, you touched upon part of it, Bill. You know, there's the families, the mom and dads, and obviously grandmas and grandpas, aunts and uncles, when they graduated high school, we want them to go on to bigger and better things. And sometimes that requires them living in our community for a time being, for going to a higher education center, joining the military, going to technical training schools. And with it, it drains our newly graduates, usually about 200 of them right now, on an average, that some leave. And we have to find a way to have opportunities for them to want to come back. And it goes back to quality of life. If you're in Dallas and you've had that enjoyment of being able to go to the nice restaurants or go out to the nice fitness centers or just walk in the parks, it's hard to want to be back in Pecos, Texas, where it's always warm. But what we also need to keep in mind is that we have created at the Economic Development Corporation, the board of directors, the governmental entities, myself, my staff, really good opportunities for people to have good paying jobs and stay home if that's what they want to do.
So in your opinion, what would encourage more of our graduates to come back to Pecos after they get their college education?
There's twofold to it. One is that they all love Pecos, and of course, they're all being able to now take advantage of the beautiful schools. The 8th graders that are now 9th graders will be the first time at the high school that is almost totally completed. So we got 4 years to convince those groups to want to stay here. The technical components of the school with the CTE programs, with some of the opportunities that we have with the Infinium Group, with the Pecos Power Plant, with Mozilla, Chevron, Microsoft, all of these groups that are coming in. We are now the talk of Texas and the talk of the United States. How did this happen? Well, it didn't happen overnight, but we have to find the educational workforce that is willing to stay here, or willing to come back to our community, or then those that have been transit workers or maybe want to relocate to a growing community. We have to find a way to recruit them into Pecos and then welcome them, not just say, okay, we got a job. They need to find a way to fit in.
So retaining young families is very important to the future of Pecos.
It is. We've had many conversations with some of the large employers that are going to be relocating to Pecos, and they're meeting their timelines, and we're going to have to continue to work with the Texas State University system, Odessa College, the Pecos High School, and then the surrounding areas. We've got to get them to want to be in Pecos, and it's going to be affordable housing. Some of it is going to be apartment complexes that we're trying to recruit, and then those single-family homes. 3 years ago, Bill, I couldn't find a developer that would take my call. Wow. And now I'm getting calls after calls after calls. And sometimes people are thinking, well, what is the EDC doing to remedy these problems? Think about it. Before, nobody did anything. They just waited for people to walk through the door at the EDC. We're going and capturing what we need to do. And does that create waves? Yeah. Do we mind it? Well, I don't like the impression that some people have of the EDC, but at the end of the day, we got to learn to also dot our I's, cross our T's, and realize that we are growing so fast in our community that we have more needs than we have solutions for right now.
So what can Pecos do to make more young families want to stay?
Young families, if we look at the census tracts, we got to remember that the average age of our population, we suffered back in those 2 years of COVID, not only educational wise, but some individuals that might not have received the type of education they needed because it was a lot online. So when you get to that maturing part of your sophomore, junior, and senior year, and you lose it because you don't have that instructor in front of you, we have to do our part to kind of work through that process, but also find ways to create quality of life things for these younger generations to, or younger populations to want to have and be a part of the Pecos. It's not just always about the rodeo. It's not always about work. Sometimes it's about parks. Sometimes it's about having jogging areas for people to go. But water is so calming to the people that if we ever put some ponds out there or the water parks that are coming, that's a talk of Texas and the United States. How to go find a water park or looking at developing a water park in all of West Texas. So when I talk to a lot of these international people, some right now from Europe, some from Asia that I've been in close contact with and that will continue to try to recruit over here, the one thing they love is the open terrain. The one thing they don't like is the heat all the time. But if we can find things for them to do, our bodies adjust to the warm weather. That's just normal. But to have 330 days of beautiful weather out here that we can work and maybe 30 days that we struggle, that's okay. There's a lot more good than there is bad.
And just in the past few days, you have been visiting with some of these international potential investors in our community.
That is so true. We think about the opportunity of even the commercials and the footage that we've done from two of our groups, which is VRMI, and that's Dr. Viesca's group, and Lemar, which does the rodeos and comes down to our community to film what we need. We splice it together to tell a story about what Pecos is, and it's from 3 years ago to 2 years ago to 1 year ago to now. That's what we're trying to focus on, because you can tell people everything that's going on, but until they visually see it, they have their doubts about it, and now they're not having those doubts. They're like, wow, what is coming next?
So really, economic development does help keep young people in Pecos.
It does. The interns, Alex and Kaylin, we're encouraging them that one day come back. Alex wants to be a veterinarian. Kaylin wants to be in journalism and communications. Lila, who runs my office and is my executive assistant, she got her degree from Odessa College. And I told her over and over, I said, all I need you to do is finish. The Economic Development Corporation will help you finish, and we will be tolerant of what you need to go get that degree if you're willing to come back and work for us. And sure enough, she graduated in May of this last year.
Awesome.
And right away I said, okay, here's your offer sheet. Full-time, let's go. And I know it put a smile on her face, it put a smile on her parents' face, but those opportunities are out there. We just got to make sure that the kids that want to stay here or want to come back, that we give them an opportunity. We hear them out and explain to them what the real demands are of the employers out here in the region.
And we do want to mention Lila and Alex. They're both here with us this morning. And of course, you mentioned that Lila's got a big smile on her face, and had a big smile on her face. She's got a big smile on her face right now. And we appreciate Lila, executive assistant and office manager for PEDC, being here with us this morning. And she, along with one of the interns, Alexandra Navarrete, are here. And thank you, Alex, for being here again this morning. We do appreciate it. And of course, they're operating the camera. And that's another way that you can watch this program each week is through your website.
That is correct. We've taken the time and energy, and we've made the investments with the staff to be able to not only take the recording that we're doing right now, Joe, but to sit down and splice it together with the video component of what we're doing, so that those individuals can see, that visit our website, say, okay, they're telling the story. They're connecting the dots. They're setting up those dominoes, so when they start to fall, we kind of have an idea as to where things are going to happen next.
paramount in the situation that we're in right here with our community. All of the industry that is looking at locating here and bringing jobs to our community, and obviously housing is going to continue to be an issue.
It is, as we work with the taxing entities, a lot of it is because the projects are outside the city limits. But we also realize that the city is really a partner to all these entities that are out here working, not only the school, the hospital, emergency management district number 1 and 2, the county. As long as we all cooperate and realize that the diversification that we've created with EDC, we're going to have jobs. But what we have to try and do is do our best to eliminate the leakage that goes out to Midland, Odessa every day at 5 o'clock. The leakage that goes to Monaghan every day at 5 o'clock. The leakage that goes to Fort Stockton every day at 5 o'clock, if not sooner or a little bit later. We have so many people that are employed in positions here in Pecos, or corporations or businesses here, that they're ready to go back home because their house may be worth $300,000 and we're paying taxes on $300,000, and ours are $400,000 homes. We've got to get it to a balance, Bill. And the only way we're going to do it is the cooperation of the county and the school district and the hospital district and the city and the economic or the emergency management districts number 1 and 2, working together to develop the horizontal build, the lots, get them ready so that these developers can come in and want to spend their money. If you will, think about this. If we're worth $30 million today, and in 2008 and 2009, we were less than $1 billion in the county. I mean, and with the things that are going on, we're going to double and triple the value. Our taxpayers are going to have that smaller burden of paying taxes. That is our ultimate goal. Reward the locals so that they don't have to pay the taxes. Let these oil and gas companies, let these data centers that are coming in, let these electric companies that are making the power pay for 98 to 99% of our sale, of our tax rate. If you could buy $1 million home bill right now, and all you have to do is pay $1,000 of it, who wouldn't do it? Or $10,000 of it, who wouldn't do it? Now, if you have to buy a $1 million house, and that $1 million house is maybe going to be worth $600,000 or $700,000 down the road, and you have to pay for all of it, you're going to do it. And I don't expect any of our residents to want to do it. But when that tax is 98, 99% from the foreigners or the people outside of the United States or outside of Reeves County that are making that investment, let them. Let us continue to build better schools. Let us continue to do quality of life with the water park and things that the county is going to do. The new clinic that the hospital wants to do. Let them pay for 99, 98% of it. It's a bargain. Everybody else in this area would love to have the problems that we have, but I guarantee you they are so far behind. And if we continue to go down our path that my board and myself have come up with, we're going to be in great shape. If people start to throw a wrench in it, then hey, we're creating the waves. Get on the surfboard and let's go. And understand that there's going to be some good, there's going to be some bad, there's going to be a little bit of ugly, but that's okay. That's just part of creating diversification for ourselves.
Jimmy, before we let you go this morning, I know on Wednesday, we talked about this last Monday, but the Texas Department of Transportation conducted a public hearing on Wednesday to receive comments on the proposed formation of the Reeves County Regional Mobility Authority, the RMA.
Yes, sir.
And how did that go on Wednesday?
It went very well. As a matter of fact, it was well represented from people from Austin, from TxDOT, from Midland, Odessa, and the local engineers from here. Then we had a lot of key individuals from Pecos that were able to ask questions of TxDOT, and of course through David Garcia, one of the contracted individuals that is guiding the town of Pecos City, Reeves County, and the Economic Development Corporation. It is so hard to create an RMA because the TxDOT doesn't like it, because now we have a say in how we're going to operate this area. And the next part of it is going to be the Mobility Authority, MPOs. But the way that we structured the application for TxDOT to consider, it's one, the chairman will be appointed by the governor's office. Two individuals will be represented from the county, because so much of what's going on is outside the county. One representative would come from the city, and one would come from the Economic Development Corporation or another taxing entity. That's the way it's set up. And none of those individuals on that board can be an elected official. They need to be appointed by those groups. Keeping all that in mind, we have to position ourselves in Austin and Washington to be able to talk to the United States Department of Transportation, to talk to the Texas State Department of Transportation, to talk to our legislators at the state level and the federal level, and tell them, hey guys, we're pumping out all this oil and gas for you guys, and none of that money's coming back for our transportation needs, for our safety needs. What are you going to do to help us out? And that is what stirred up and created some of the ways. But they're good ways, because I remember talking about this in the early 2000s, the loop that we needed. And for 15, 20 years, nothing happened. And now we've created enough of the buzz in the last 3 years to say, okay, this is what we have to do, and this is the process we have to take. Jimmy can't do it all, my board can't do it all, the city can't do it all, the county can't do it all. But if we collectively work together, Bill, for the interest of our residents, for the interest of our tourists that come through 285 and the interstate, for the trucking industry, well, we're just doing our job. And that's what I was able to talk with a lot of the individuals that were there from the residents. They loved it. They said, I didn't know. Even the newspaper. I had a chance to visit with Cassie Martin yesterday about this. She interviewed several of the elected officials, several of the board members, and then some of the community individuals. And I think she understood what we're trying to get. I hope she understood, because she said, wow, I couldn't have ever imagined something like this. So let's hope that a good message comes out of it.
Teamwork is very important.
It is, over and over, Bill. Nobody can build a community by themselves. Nobody can build a house by themselves. But if we do it together, we can do it faster, we can do it better. And then so long as the comments and the constructive criticism come, then we take it. We should take it. We don't want to just isolate ourselves and say, well, everybody knows what's going on. That's not the way. As much information as we can provide that doesn't take away from these other major groups that are coming in, they're the ones that dictate when we can let some of this information out. And it's unfortunate, but no one wants to tell the secret of what they're going to buy and the prices that they've given out, or the individuals that they're wanting to hire. That's just not possible. They want to do it as strategically as possible. Remember, we answer to the taxpayers and the local community. They answer to the shareholders of the people that are writing out those checks for these types of investments.
Absolutely. Well, Jimmy, we want to thank you for coming in this morning, and of course we appreciate you through this forum each week bringing information to our community and giving our community economic development updates every Monday morning at this time. We appreciate that. And of course, we've noticed the newspaper ads in presenting information to the community as well. And so keep up the good work there.
I appreciate it very much. And again, it goes out to the staff for putting those things out there in the newspaper for us. The board is very supportive of this, because the things that we can let out, Bill, we're going to let out. The things that we can't, please, public, don't think we were hiding something. It's not. That's just the way it goes sometimes.
We'll talk to you again next week. Jimmy, thank you again for your time.
Appreciate you very much, Bill.